Hello, I'm Jeff White along with Christian Hinton, and this is the AMN Podcast. Our focus today is on the war in Iran, the military situation unfolding there, and its effect on the automotive aftermarket. So far, gas prices have surged about 50% since the war began. Diesel prices are even higher, and the aftermarket is feeling the impact at the counter. So our research team put out a survey, and we asked our audience, to what extent, if at all, have you had to adjust your parts markups to account for the surge in fuel and energy costs since February? So the responses show an industry trying to balance rising operating costs with customer sensitivity. A big stat that stood out to us, 64% of those who responded increased their parts markups. Take it a little further, we have 28% increased markups by 1 to 5%, 21% from 6 to 10%, and 15% by 11% or more. So if you look at that data, it suggests there's no single strategy to attack the rising fuel prices, but some businesses are making modest adjustments to protect their margins, and others are taking more aggressive actions as fuel, freight, and energy costs continue to rise.
Yeah, Jeff, and we received dozens of written responses from our audience as well, and I wanted to give some of those thoughts right now. One respondent said, fuel prices increasing means higher prices on every SKU and less people driving, so they're expecting lower sales. Another respondent said, fuel prices obviously affect the bottom line, but we have yet to see any big changes. So, Jeff, what I can gather from that is fewer miles driven mean there's fewer repair opportunities, which is a problem for our industry, and customers are becoming more cautious about spending. And that becomes apparent with our next respondent, who says, with the increase in costs comes a change in consumer behavior. So that will mean customers are pulling back on those non-essential repairs. There's tighter margins for businesses, and shops and distributors are having to balance profitability with customer retention, right?
Yeah.
And something that piggybacks off of that is, one respondent said, consumer preference may shift from premium to budget based on budget constraints. So that creates a difficult balancing act, Jeff. Like, businesses need to protect their margins, but aggressive price increases also risk pushing customers to delay repairs. So I will say, despite the headwinds, our respondents are not panicking right now. Most companies are still taking a wait and see approach. Many of those businesses have not changed production or inventory levels just yet, and a lot of those companies are trying to remain flexible while this uncertainty continues.
Yeah, for lack of a better term, there doesn't seem to be some sort of overdramatic response to this. And like you said, they're walking the line of, marking up prices and being sensitive to their customers as well.
Yeah.
So as per usual, as we say a lot in this industry, the aftermarket is showing resilience by its willingness to adapt.
Absolutely.
Next time on the AMN Podcast, we're going to look at how rising fuel prices and economic uncertainty are changing consumer repair habits, driving longer vehicle ownership across the aftermarket. We do want to thank you for listening today, and this has been the AMN Podcast.